3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? It's Ash on Comics. Having a little technical problems this time. Technical problems are me. I think that's become like a trademark. I think if I ever get this thing figured out and everything working, I'm going to have to start faking technical problems just to keep within the theme. So this time, you know how I run my normal, stream starting soon thing. I started running it. I'm like, cool, it's 10 o'clock. Time to go. Boom, run it. Go live. But apparently I didn't click the go live button correctly because it didn't register. And it was about to start the music. I started the music and I was like, wait a second, why is it not streaming live? And, it's because YouTube didn't take the mouse click or something. So that's why, if it appeared like it started late to you, that's why. So anyways, good evening. Hope everyone's having a nice evening. Had a good day today. Dane Barrett is in the house. He's number 1. He opens up with hello, hello, hello. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. Oh, wait. I don't know. That just got me thinking about that song. I like the Beatles. Dane says he has a newfound respect for Jimmy. Gotta love a guy who loves Middlewest as much as I do. Now, Dane, I didn't know you were a big fan of Middlewest. That's good to know. I'm becoming a fan of Middlewest after one issue. That issue was really good. I liked it. I don't know if it's necessarily like my wheelhouse per se of like comics that I would seek out to read. But I'm one of those kind of people that appreciates everything. Meaning, even things that I normally don't say, oh, that's something I'm into. If it's good, I'll like it. Like with movies, right? My favorite kind of movies typically are like sci-fi, fantasy. Star Wars, of course, being my number one. This original Star Wars trilogy. Massive fan of The Matrix. Love movies like the Lord of the Rings trilogy was astounding. And I also really like global espionage thrillers, James Bond, Mission Impossible, and I'm a big fan of dystopian future films. So, the Gattaca, Hunger Games is kind of a mild one, but I enjoyed it on those aspects. I'm always a sucker. So these kind of genres are essentially things that are in my wheelhouse. Hunger Games being a good example. It didn't have to achieve greatness to win me over because I'm already predisposed to like those films. Now, one type of film that I'm really not into are like romance love stories, right? It's not really in my wheelhouse. But James Cameron's Titanic blew me away. So when you achieve greatness in something, I'll be like, okay, I don't care. Okay, this is, and I'm not saying that Middlewest is great. Maybe it is. I don't know. I've only read one issue, but I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next issue that we're going to read tonight. Matter of fact, I may start suggesting you read that Thor book he's always talking about. Oh no, Jimmy needs a cheerleader. Lord's in the house says nice beats. Or actually Dane says nice beats and Lord agrees. That make me excited to burn ash to ashes. I don't know what that's all about. Melissa's here. Hello, Melissa. Good to see you again. Ed, where you been, buddy? Ed Brewer. I was hoping I was going to get away with playing some more mainstream music when I played Yellow Card a few episodes back, and then the stream, I don't know. I was like, because I thought I could get away, and maybe I can still, I don't know. But I wanted to play some like normal music, so I want to play some Pink Floyd. Share my love of some of the things I love, so you guys get to hear. Melissa says, hey, Ash, did you hear Bendis? I added the hey, Ash. She didn't actually say that. Did you hear Bendis' plans to have Superman join the Authority a violent anti-hero group? Why, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I just released a video tonight talking about that. So, yes. Lord says, love to make fun of you. Or just let others do it. All right, well, that's what I'm here for. I'm the dancing monkey, right? This is what I always call celebrities. Not that I'm a celebrity, please. Don't don't conflate this with me thinking I'm nobody. But I always like to reference celebrities, typically like TV and movie stars, as dancing monkeys. And when I see them out there making big political statements and doing stuff or whatever, and I'm just like, you're just a dancing monkey. Just get up on stage and do your thing. Like, this is what we're paying you for. Just when they think that they're more important than they are, it's like, shut the hell up. Now, which is ironic because I don't shut the hell up and I'm a nobody. And it's not that I don't think that these people shouldn't have opinions. By all means, have your opinions. Be passionate about something. You want to be political? You're a celebrity? By all means, do it. But what I don't like is when they think that their celebrity makes them more important than they are. Makes their opinion more important than it is. Your opinion is valid only on the merits of the opinion itself. Right? So, I'm very opinionated. I share my views with you guys regularly. I don't expect you to listen to me more or less because I'm a nobody or have the stupid YouTube channel. I hope that you listen to me based on the merits of what I'm saying. And if you hear what I'm saying and you go, fucking Ash is a dipshit, like, what the hell is he talking about? Then so be it. But, these people that get up there, they make, tens of millions of dollars to dance on screen, and then they think that they're an expert in whatever's, going on in the world, geopolitics or, pandemics, what have you. It's like, oh, listen to me. I read lines for a living. It's like, shut the hell up. Anyways, Lord says, authority, don't know about them. Well, you know what? I don't know about them either. Only a little bit. They are a Wildstorm book. And from what I understand, it's like, was it Warren Ellis came up with it originally? Let's see. I have I'm pretty sure I have the first book. Let's pull it up on the screen here. This is the authority. No, I guess I don't have this. Thought I did. So here it is. You can see on the screen. It is Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. This is the first trade paperback. And here's what it looks like inside. If you've seen Brian Hitch's art, it always looks the same. It looks like, oh, that's Brian Hitch. Let's read what it says about them. New York Times bestseller. After witnessing the demise of most of her Stormwatch teammates, Jenny Sparks wants to create a new superhero team dedicated to protecting Earth against the threats of a global scale. Joined by former Stormwatch members Jack Hawksmoor and Shen Li Min, Jenny recruits 4 members: the Doctor, the Engineer, Apollo, and the Midnighter, forming the ultra-powerful Authority. Collected in this edition are the first 2 missions: battling a nation of superpowered terrorists and stopping an invasion from a parallel world. Collects Authority, Volume 1, numbers 1 through 12. Wes from over there from Thinking Critical did a thing on this with Perch, and they talked about this, and this is something I've heard about. People have recommended it to me multiple times. Oh yeah, Mark Millar did a Volume 2 of the Authority. That's another reason I was curious about it. I like Mark Millar a lot, and I call him Millar. I know his name's pronounced Miller, but there's other Millers out there, so he spells with an AR, and it's like, tough, dude. I'm going to call you Mark Millar. To your face, I'll say Miller, but just so you guys know, if you hear me, like, doesn't Ash know how to pronounce names right? Plus, I called him Mark Millar for like 10 years because I didn't know how to pronounce it right. And then then when people tell you, no, it's actually pronounced this way, you're like, I can't get it out of my head. It's like James Tynan. For years, I was calling him James Tinian the Fourth, and then I saw an interview with him, and it was James Tynan, and I was like, oh, okay, I got it wrong. Anyways, I could have sworn I had this. Oh, man, did it log me out again? All right. Let's take that off here. Try to log back in. There was a problem. What the fuck is going on, Amazon? You should change your password immediately. No, I don't want to change my password. I already changed it because you keep giving me these problems. All right, we're back. Oh, you'd think like the biggest company in the world could figure out how to run a website for comic books. I mean, their company is only a company that is the biggest online website for retail in the world. Anyways, enough of that bitching. So I was trying to get into my books. Oh, look who's here. Jimmy, Superman's pal. Let's see. Melissa says, Bendis has destroyed Superman. Well, not yet. Not until he becomes part of the Authority, and then the destruction will be complete. That's my Emperor voice. And now that he's taking over the Didio spot, Bendis can destroy everything. Yay! Celebrate good times. Come on. Melissa says, I like Midnighter. He's more Punisher than Batman-like. To me, he's just Punisher Batman. To me, have you ever seen that character from Dark Horse X? That's what he reminds me of. Ed says, it's Superman's pal. Hi, Jimmy. Dane says Ash is off in the weeds again. My bad. I was waiting for Jimmy to get here. I was trying to stall. Now he's here. So, anyways, I was trying to get to my books, my library. Oh, no, it's in my wish list, I bet. I bet you. I keep a wish list of stuff here so I can see when stuff goes on sale. Because I never pay full price at Comixology. Don't ever pay full price. You just make a wish list and you just wait. Eventually, they have sales like every week. I really want this Usagi Yojimbo thing right here. Look at this. If you're looking for Usagi Yojimbo, this is the thing to get. Look at this. It's 1,151 pages. It's gigantic. It's like the whole Fantagraphic run. First 10 years of his career. 10 years of Usagi, all in one volume. I'd like to get this in like physical copy, but it's like $100 in physical. But I've seen this for $25 on Comixology before on sale, and I didn't pull the trigger then, but one day I will. That'd be really nice to have all those. Let's see. Come on. You get to look at my wish list. Isn't it exciting? You can see all the comics I want to get. Oh, I guess not here. I could have sworn I bought this. Yeah, let's go through the super library. Hey, look, I got 2 books from America. Breen would be proud. I guess not. Huh. Oh well. Okay, I don't know why I'm looking through this. So anyways, the Authority, according to Wes and Perch, was like this fascist group. The whole idea is that they rule through authority. They're not like the superheroes that we've come to love traditionally. And they're basically like anti-Superman. Superman is like, look, it's not up to me to take over the world. Like, it's everyone else run their life. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve people and you know, help where I can, not take charge and tell people what to do. So the Authority is kind of different. The Authority is very much like they're like the new X-Men. That's why I compared them when I talked in my video today. So Lord says Ash is getting old. Poor Ash. I am getting old. I don't know why you're reminding me of that. Let's see. Tehillim is in the house. It says Bendis should have stayed on Jinx World. You should get a hat that says that, Tehillim. You say that a lot. Just like a MAGA hat, but it just says Bendis should stay on Jinx World. Let's see. Tehillim says it's still his independent property, only under the banner of DC Comics, who's printing it only, so DC could easily drop Jinx World without blinking an eye. However, you forget about contracts. I think there's some contracts. I think there's some legal mumbo jumbo in the background that we don't know about. Melissa says Ash, Usagi, and TMNT crossed over. Yes, they did. They have crossed over several times, as a matter of fact. And I want to say that the first time they crossed over was how it got me to look at Usagi the first time. Because back in the day, like in the 80s, when Usagi first came around, I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, but I looked at Usagi and I was like, that's stupid. I was like, this stupid cartoon rabbit. Meanwhile, I didn't care about Ninja Turtles, cartoon samurai rabbits, but just it's the way that he was drawn. He looked more cartoony. The ninjas were like kind of edgy if you look at Kevin Eastman's art, you know, and so he looked really silly. I judged it by its cover. And then when Usagi and Turtles, I don't know if that was a crossover or just like a little guest appearance, something happened. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I tried it out. And then Usagi's way better than Turtles. So I became a massive Usagi Yojimbo fan. Eric says, we can't all be young. That's the truth. Live it up, Eric. You'll get old like the rest of us one day. Let's see. Usagi and Leonardo and the ultimate bromance and buddy cop duo. I don't actually, as funny as it sounds, I don't really like the Usagi and TMNT crossovers because they're really from different worlds. TMNT is from a Marvel-esque type world. I mean, it was totally playing off of Miller's Daredevil in the early issues, or the first issue at least. Usagi Yojimbo is classic historical Japan. They don't really fit. The one time I liked the Turtles in Usagi crossover is when it wasn't the real Turtles. Usagi, in his own world, ran across these 4 ninjas that were turtles, and they were just the same but different, if you know what I mean. Like, they were the Ninja Turtles, but like reimagined for Usagi's world. And that way worked for me. I think that would have been good to do in reverse, to come up with some sort of samurai rabbit called Usagi, you know, but reimagine him in the modern Turtles world. I don't know. That's me. I don't really like the mashup stuff. That's never really worked for me. You know, you see IDW does a lot of this stuff, and I think Dynamite too. Right now, I think they have like Transformers, Terminator. They did one a little while ago. Was Transformer Ghostbusters. Crossovers are one thing when they kind of fit. You know, like Marvel, DC. It's like, okay, you're both like mainstream superheroes. You kind of fit a little bit. But like Transformers with Terminator, I was like, Ghostbusters and Transformers. I'm like, what are you doing? What was it that they did? He-Man with Injustice. That was like weird. It's like not only was it DC, it was DC Injustice crossover with He-Man. I was like, okay. Some people love that stuff, and like more power to you. Just for me, it just comes off weird. It's like, for me, you don't get either one, right? If you get Transformers, Ghostbusters, it's like you don't really get the Ghostbusters and you don't really get the Transformers because they're both made kind of weird to be with. I don't know. Let's see. It happened that Usagi crossed with the Turtles and other Turtles from different realities in comics. TMNT exists on Earth. Melissa says Terminator versus RoboCop, Frank Miller. Yeah, that was another one that was weird. Man, I love me some Frank Miller, but that was weird. It kind of worked a little bit because RoboCop, Terminator's not terribly far off, but yeah, it's weird. Power Rangers, Justice League. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really kind of annoyed about this whole Authority. I could have sworn that I bought it. Could have sworn, because that's something I've been wanting to read for a while. Let me see. That's another thing that annoys me about digital comics and comicsology is sometimes there'll be different versions of the same book. I almost did this on Blackest Night. I got the Green Lantern Blackest Night. But if you forget that you have it, it's not like you can physically see it unless you go into your digital bookshelf there. And I almost bought it again because I had forgotten that I had it. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, there's a sale on Blackest Night. I've been wanting to get that. And then... and then you're like, oh wait, I have, but it's a different version, right? Like, oh, it's the anniversary edition now, and so it's like digital shouldn't be that way. That really annoys me. Anyways, so what are you guys doing? Gen 13 Spider-Man. See, that would work okay because they're superheroes. You could, Gen 13 would fit right in the Marvel universe. Gen 13 is a Marvel comic through and through, just not in the Marvel universe. Christopher Barker's in the house. Doug Johnson, good to see you. There's a new America out tomorrow from Image, but it is America Vasquez instead. What? America's not Image. What? Elaborate on this, Doug. What are you talking about? America from Image. That doesn't make any sense. Eric Breen must know more. All right, let's see here. There will not be an Ash Wednesday video tomorrow, by the way. You want to see my pull list for tomorrow? Oh, I gotta log in. Why is everything not logged in? Yeah. This is my pull list tomorrow. It's like one book. It's an Alterna book, and Alterna's historically, when this app tells me it's coming out, it's wrong. It's usually like the next week. So this may not even be out tomorrow. So I'm not going to the store tomorrow to get one book. But let's see what actually is supposed to come out tomorrow. Supergirl, number 52. New The Boys. Man, tomorrow is a terrible day for comics. Look at this. There's just nothing from Marvel. The only DC comic is Supergirl, and I don't think there's any Marvel comics. Yeah, this is terrible. Look at this. Is there anything that, come on. Ugh, terrible, terrible. Nothing. Most of these books aren't even at my store. You can't. You'd have to special order these. That's how low their sales. FemForce number 189. Oh Jesus, 189 issues of FemForce. Okay. Yep. There's nothing. But I can't believe. Look at all these comics. I can't believe there's an audience for all these comics. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, they must sell enough to be in print. I heard the Goon was really good, actually. Goon has like a pretty rabid fan. But people that like the Goon like the Goon. It's like, if you meet a Goon fan, like, oh, you don't read the Goon, you gotta read the Goon. Maybe I should read the Goon on one of these sometime. I need to get a copy of it, though. Eric says, no new comics? Time to back issue binge. That's trademarked, Eric. Dave Asanowicz wants his... You now owe Dave Asanowicz $1 for infringing on his trademark. Christopher Barker's here. Computer robots. Hello, everyone. I hope we get to see Ash on camera one day, even though that I know it's not going to happen. I thought he was going to say, even though I know it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be terrible. But both may be true. I don't know, man. Being on camera is, well, first of all, when you live in California, and just seeing, like, look at what's going on in the world today, or not even this world, just this country. If you're in the United States, that is. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I just remained anonymous, because people are getting destroyed for the stupidest things because cancel culture. You piss off one crazy progressive and they will just spurg out and make it their life's mission to ruin you. And I like having my opinions, right? Right or wrong, my opinions might be wrong, but I like having my opinions, and usually I'm pretty strong about my opinions, and I hate having to shut up because I'm worried that someone's going to, take it out on me. Anonymity allows me to speak my mind and, not get some crazy knocking on my door. So that's kind of why that is. Plus, I'm not some sort of, I don't know, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not anyone cares to see. I liked having a voice for radio. I would have really liked being a DJ, I think, now that I've been doing this. Just kind of talking into the ether. There's something kind of cathartic about it. So, that being all said, I just released a video in time to go on live, so I can basically cannibalize myself. So if you're completely bored of this live stream, you can go watch my video. But we're going to get into a comic to read. And we got something special tonight. Don't we always? We are going to start off the evening with issue 1 of the Immortal Hulk, because I recently read an Al Ewing book, and it was pretty not so good. I did a review of Empire Zero. You can see in my review, I listened to that review, and I'm just like, God, my review sucked too. I just want to pull it down. I'm just like, this is all terrible. The book is meh. My video's meh. It's like he just brings out the meh in everybody. But everyone raved about Immortal Hulk for 25 issues. This thing was coming out, and it was like, Immortal Hulk is the best. It's the greatest, blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm not a big Hulk fan, and Al Ewing is a asshole, and I don't believe you. But people kept saying it. And, on this channel is a chance to give things a shot and go past my own perspectives and, be proven wrong. I have been proven wrong many times. There's things where I was like, I don't know. And then you never know. Like Hawkman. I never thought I would be a Hawkman fan, and now I am. By the way, Hawkman video goes up in the morning. That book. Eric says we like Ash for his dulcet tones. Yeah, you do. Computer Robot says, good point, Ash. I know, right? Can't these people leave everyone else alone? No, they can't. They can't. Because every ounce of truth that reminds them of their lies. So they must stifle anything that contradicts, so they can live inside their lies. Marania's in the house. What's going on, Marania? Christopher Barker says, special. Is it Ash's birthday? No, my birthday's in September. Kay's in the house. I'm lucky for not living in America for now. You might be. I'm not sure exactly where you live, but as bad as America is right now, there's still a lot of good things about it. It's going down the toilet, but it's all relative. And I think that lots of other parts of the world already had a lot of the problems that we're now going to be facing, which, relatively speaking, if you grew up in those parts of the world, I think that you are more suited to handling it, right? It's like the example I make about domesticating an animal. Like, you take a baby wolf, out of the woods, and then you raise it, and you go set it free later on as an adult. It can't really fend for itself because you softened it, you domesticated it, you got it used to like taking care of it and feeding it, and Americans are kind of like that. We've lived a life of luxury for so long and had things so easy because of our forefathers, and now we're kind of soft. Other parts of the world have had harder lives, and they're used to it, and they've grown up, and they've become strong, and they look at Americans and just laugh at us because we're so weak. It's not necessarily because those parts of the world are better. It's just, it's like people from, hundreds of years ago. They didn't have electricity and plumbing and air conditioning and stuff, and they had to chop down their own trees to build their own houses, and they handled it. But most people in the Western world could not do that. I certainly couldn't. So, anyways, Dane says, Marania, we missed you. It's always good to miss people. I don't know that doesn't make sense. Melissa says, Hulk influenced by Frankenstein monster and Dr. Jekyll. Yes, for sure. Dane says, if you're gonna read it fast so we can stay awake. Well, all right, I'm gonna get into it. I think that's a hint. So here we go. Immortal Hulk. Let's switch over to the big screen. All right. A fantastic and genuinely scary return to form for the now Immortal Hulk. May it live forever. Well, it's not living forever. It's getting canceled. It's gonna get replaced by She-Hulk. I mean, Hulk. Wait, they're both called Hulk now. Now they're both called the Immortal Hulk. It's fucking Marvel. It's so stupid. The Immortal Hulk, or is he both? Al Ewing writer, Joe Bennett penciler. Man is, on the whole, less good than he imagines himself or wants to be. Carl Gustav Jung. Okay. Or is that Jung? That sounds appropriately... that sounds like some left-wing rhetoric that Al Ewing would put in his book. There are two people in every mirror. There's the one you can see. Listen, if you're getting some for the road, make it something healthy, okay? Okay, Mom. I mean it. Fruit juice. None of that soda pop. Okay, Mom. And there's the other one. God. The one you don't want to. What are you looking at? Excuse me. Creep? What's his deal? He was looking at National Investigator. Hey, which pump? Guy walks in. Mister? Which? Oh. No alarms. Open the register. Sure, man. I just want what's in the Chris. Madame. You just... You... Damn! Please, man, please! I swear I didn't touch the alarm. I'm sorry. No, I didn't see your face. Please, I didn't see anything. But damn. Sandy? Oh, Lord, Sandy! Sandy! Sandra Ann Brockhurst, 12 years old. And then we have the counterman one, Josh Alfaro, 22, and a John Doe, no ID, but probably local. Pretty sure I know him from somewhere. And you're okay with all that going in tomorrow's edition, Detective Mays? Well, I'm hoping it might loosen a few tongues. All off the record, Miss McGee. We've got blurry security footage, but no real witnesses. Mrs. Brockhurst remembers a blue hoodie and a gray car, maybe beige. She didn't get a plate number. We dug the bullets out of the bodies, and we'll do what we can with those, but what we can is usually some folks in West Virginia sorting through paper records. Paper records? CSI by the way of gun lobby. Don't act surprised, Jackie. You've been a reporter long enough. You see how the world is. Even if maybe you don't want to. I didn't want to do it. I just heard something fall, and I turned, and it went off in my hands. And then the others, they saw me. I didn't think. I swear I didn't think. I was scared. I panicked. I didn't want to do it. Yeah, too bad. How much did you get? What? The money, Tommy. How much did you get? I haven't counted. A couple hundred, I think. Oh, God. Good. So you can start paying me back. What? 200. That's about the interest on what you owe me. You're not a bad guy, Tommy. So I've let you slide a little, you know. Just 'cause I like you. I like your whole family. You understand me? Yeah, sorry, Joe. I wasn't here. Good boy. How's that going? That whole situation? We paid till the end of the month. With the money thank you, but I couldn't get that job. I figured. And there's next month, and we can't pay the light bill, and I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You thought about robbing a gas station? Ha! I relax. I'm just having a little fun. Get out of here. Go get the rest of my money. Next time, don't bring me a sob story with it, huh? I mean it. You want out of this hole you're in? You need to toughen the hell up. Don't be weak, Tommy. 'Cause somebody stronger than you is always gonna come along and... Thoom! Damn! Was that a bomb or... Go! Check out the generator. Move it. What in the hell could... In the shadows, something's moving. Something's... Yag! Mikey? Mikey! It got him! It was just there, so big. It's the devil. Shut up. It's the devil, man. It's the damn king of hell. I said shut up, meth head. Fuck, piece of shit. I don't know what the hell is being said right there, because Marvel likes to cuss a lot, and they don't want to actually print the cussing, but they want the cussing, and then they put these fucking symbols and blah. Sorry, it's my pet peeves. Crack. Form on me, all of you. Whoever it is, they can't stay out in the dark forever. Anything comes through that door, you unload on French. No, damn, choom. Oh God, bam, bam. Shoot it, aim for the eyes, bam. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, bajoom. God, no. I know what you are. Bajoom. I know what you are, you son of a bitch. You're him. You're the... Hello? Is anyone still... Hello? Anyone? Sandra Ann Brockhurst. That was her name. She was 12. No, I didn't want. Didn't want.
How's it feel in your hand?
What?
Heavy, right? All that stopping power. Heavier than it is at the range, even. You go to the range much, Tommy? Shoot the paper targets. It was heavier in the gas station, I'll bet. With the other targets.
No,
No. All that power in your hand. There wasn't some little part of you wondering what you could do if you let the power loose.
Badam.
You know, on someone who deserved it, I mean. Know how I found you, Tommy? Because ever since you pulled that trigger, you've been lying to yourself. And I can smell a liar.
Please. I'm sorry. I know what I did, and I know I can never. But I'll go to the police. You could take me to the police. I'll tell them everything. I swear to God, I'll go to jail. Whatever punishment, whatever they do to me, just let me. Please. I have a family. I have a little girl.
You don't say.
I know. I didn't want this. I made a mistake. Didn't you ever make a mistake? Please, I swear I'm not a bad guy. Am I?
What do you think?
The body of John Doe is missing. The other two corpses from the gas station robbery are undisturbed, as far as we can determine. I can't say the same for the county medical examiner's office. The local chapter of the Dogs of Hell gang was squatting in an abandoned housing development. We knew they were into drugs and organized crime, protection, loan sharking, but we wanted enough on them to make a move. Someone else moved first. They're in stable condition, concussions and fractures mostly, but something put the fear in God into them. They're very eager to talk to us. Which brings us to this guy. Thomas Edward Hill. Turns out he owed them some money. We found him in the hospital parking lot in a shallow crater, like a meteor landed and brought him along. Collapsed lung, internal bleeding, just about every bone in his body broken or crushed, unresponsive, clinging to life. He'll never walk again, may never wake up again. God. There's more. That gas station robbery, he did it. The murder weapon was lying next to him. Matches the casing at the scene. We got his prints, too. Plus, a couple of the dogs heard him confess. But they didn't do this. On the record, the assailant is unknown. Off the record, I'm only saying this because people should know. You should know. But this never came from me. That someone who attacked the dogs tonight, he was big. Built like an engine of hell. I quote, and he was green. Understand? It could be one of the others. No, not this. He's dead. there was an autopsy. A funeral. Bruce Banner is dead, Gloria. Yes. Yes, he is. And so was the John Doe in the gas station with that familiar face. He was dead. And then the sun went down. See, I don't think there was a cover-up. I don't think it was a lie. Bruce Banner was dead. Bruce Banner can die. But then there's that other guy. I have to talk to my editor. Yeah, you do. There are two people in every mirror. I'm not a bad person. Am I? What do you think? Or is he both? All right. Well, that was a pretty good first issue, I have to admit. I have to say, I can understand why people got excited about this book when it came out. Especially for a Marvel book. Like, it was a pretty good horror story. So, let's see. Eric Breen says, Peter David Hulk is better than Al Ewing Hulk. It might be. Let's see. I gotta scroll up some more. Man, you guys did a lot of commenting while I was reading this. I was gonna stop and look at the comments mid reading, but I was figuring that this was so well written that just carrying on the drama would be better. Let's see. Ronnie, am I in the league next week? Yay. Oh, good luck on that, Dane. Ronnie says praying goes well for you. I second that. Ditto. Eric says zzz. He's falling asleep. Let's see. Ed says Hulk is such a poignant character. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Lord says, and Hulk was not available, so they made She-Hulk Hulk. Well, Hulk was available. They just made She-Hulk Hulk because that's the woke thing to do. And now they're canceling Immortal Hulk, and they're making She-Hulk the Immortal Hulk. And that, too, is not because Immortal Hulk's not available. It's because it's the woke thing to do. The guy must always be replaced by the woman, according to these mentally ill people. No, Roxxon is not a ripoff of a certain oil company which had a tiger as its mascot. Bianca Fights the Zombies is here. Good to see you. I did a video about this a long time ago. Al Ewing hates whites and Christians. Yeah, I mean, Al Ewing has got his lefty side. But you know, I'm trying to, in this time, just read the book and take it for what it is. We could talk about Al Ewing, of course, all day. I don't have positive feelings about Al Ewing. But that doesn't mean just because you might be an asshole, doesn't mean you can't write a book. Ronnie says the art is good. I have to agree. I didn't enjoy the art because of the aesthetic, like the style. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this artist is someone I want to follow. But I thought they did a stellar job with the storytelling. There was really good moments where the visuals carried the story, the looks in people's eyes, the way the shots moved. It was good. Al Ewing really does not like people of European descent and Christians. Okay. I guess that might explain why the bad people were white and the good people were black. Or that could just be a coincidence. At Marvel, probably not, but let's I'm not going to jump the gun. Banner's about to ruin another perfectly good shirt hulking out. Dane says, well, this is uplifting. Yeah, Immortal Hulk is not a book of heroism. It's a horror story. But I never considered Hulk to be a hero story. Hulk was always original Hulk was a tragedy, as Melissa pointed out earlier. It was kind of a play off of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's Hulk wasn't supposed to be like, hey, save the days like Superman. Like it's the tragedy of like, ah, oh, geez, man. And the Immortal Hulk, the concept is let's make this kind of a horror story. This particular issue, tell me if you had a different view, but this particular issue kind of came across to me like a Twilight Zone story. It had that very similar feel of how Twilight Zone does their stuff. Dane says Peter David should not even be compared to this. I agree. Peter David had a way different take on Hulk. I have to say, while I kind of enjoyed Peter David's Hulk for what little I read of it, it wasn't really my thing. Let's see. Don't drop the soap because you don't want Hulk as a cellmate, says Melissa. And Lord says, Immortal She-Hulk? Yeah. Well, it's not Immortal She-Hulk. It's Immortal Hulk. She's not She-Hulk. She's just Hulk. So we have Hulk and we have Hulk. One has X chromosomes. The other one has XY chromosomes. But they're both called Hulk because in Marvel, people are assholes and they just take each other's identities. Especially if you're a woman, right? You got Kate Bishop is the real Hawkeye. Carol Danvers is the real Captain Marvel. Jane Foster's the real Thor. And now Jennifer Walters is the real Hulk. It's all, that's how it goes. Lord says, really, what a bunch of idiots. Yeah, I don't understand this whole Immortal She-Hulk thing. Because, first of all, I mean, Immortal Hulk sales are going in the tank because Al Ewing couldn't conceal his politics, apparently. And I heard around issue 25, it just started all becoming this big political anti-Trump book. But this book, I didn't feel political at all. This issue was a really well done, well crafted horror story. It was a good introduction to this new vision of the Hulk. There were some things that I noticed about the book that I just sort of overlooked because it's kind of ticky-tacky. For example, I don't like how in the Marvel Universe people act as if there aren't people with superpowers. Right? Like, you literally have gods walking around the planet. Like, you have aliens invading, you have all sorts of these like powerful things, and you have characters walking around as if like, like when the Hulk shows up and they don't know who that's the Hulk, but it's like, oh, there's something outside, and they're just like, well, we have guns, we'll take care of it. And it's like, if I'm in that world, I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck's out there. It could be fucking evil mutants, it could be aliens, it could be War of the Realms, like, oh shit, Loki's here with all his frost giant. Like, the people of Earth have seen, in the Marvel Universe, have seen such crazy shit. Like, what the fuck, but I was like, okay, but for the sake of the comic book, it needs to play off that way. Anyways, but I enjoyed this. I thought it was well done. It's not necessarily, I was talking about before, it's not my wheelhouse. It's not like a book that I would seek out and go, oh, I wish there was a book like this. But it's something I can appreciate. Let's see. Ronnie says, but if you have to have a Marvel version, then Monica Rambeau is the best Captain Marvel for them. Oh, yeah. She's following up on her statement. Wrong. Billy Batson's the real Captain Marvel. Yeah. Well, we were talking about Marvel's Captain Marvel. There's two Captain Marvels. Well, okay, there's only one, really, because the other one died. Everyone else has been a pretender. Let's see. Dane says Monica Rambeau, a strong black woman, would be a perfect Captain Marvel for today. Blew it. Yeah, it's really strange. It's what's really strange, especially is in the super woke culture of today. It's really strange that the hyper wokeness hasn't, with people toppling Thomas Jefferson and George Washington statues. That kind of like super woke, like anything that's tied to white patriarchy at all has to be destroyed. You would think that super woke crowd would be like just anti Carol Danvers. Like she's just, whitewashed Monica Rambeau. Like I guess people haven't got onto that yet. Let's see. Carol Danvers is the only Captain Marvel bigot. You forgot to put thank you very much. Jimmy says, are you now just starting to read? What? What are you talking about? I think Jimmy went away and came back and just gave it away that he wasn't following the whole time. Let's see. Woke SJWs have destroyed Jack, Stan, and Steve's creations with their woke SJW communist bullshit. Melissa never holds back. Like, that's what I like about her. Marvel died with Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Joe Simon, Steve Ditko. I don't know if they died. I mean, I love Stan. I've never been a big Jack Kirby fan, or Steve Ditko, or those guys. I do love Stan Lee a lot. Stan Lee is what made Marvel for me. But, Stan was never going to live forever. And I don't want to hold a company down to be like, well, if you're not Stan, I think Marvel still can be Marvel if it wanted to be. It doesn't want to be. That's the problem. Let's see. Jimmy says, I was in the middle of a game when you started, so I popped in to say hi. And now my back because it's over. Well, you're lost, Jimmy. You're lost. Let's see. Melissa says, I don't. I speak my mind. She does a car commercial that every time it's on, she does a car commercial that every time it's on, I want to throw something in the TV. Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. Anyways, that was good. I like that. I could read more. Hopefully, I didn't get any responses from you guys about whether or not you thought it was good. But I can definitely see why people like this, especially in today's environment. That's another thing. When you consider the contrast, if this had been around in like the early 90s, it would have been like, oh, okay, this was a decent book. Like, people would have been like, cool. But when you consider today, or even like 2 years ago, when, Marvel was just shit in the bed and Hulk was Gogurt Hulk, this was like night and day. You're like, oh yes, finally, like, you're not giving us woke bullshit. And it's good storytelling. This is good. This is legitimately good storytelling. Whether or not it's your cup of tea, it's that much at least I think should be respected and acknowledged. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully, I did it some level of justice as in the reading. I thought I did all right. I cannot do a Hulk voice. I'm sorry. Like, I just do not have the deep bass that I think would be needed to do a proper Hulk voice. I was really struggling. Marani says, this art is good. It's wasted on the writer. I have to say, Marani, I'm not an Al Ewing fan, but I thought that book was well written. I thought it was really well written. So I have to give credit where credit's due. I'm not going to hate on him just because I don't like Al Ewing. If Al Ewing wrote every book that well, if Empire Zero was written like that, it would have been awesome. But Empire Zero wasn't written like that. Not at all. Now we're going to get to the main event. As soon as I drink some of my iced tea, man, my throat is hurting from trying to do that Hulk voice. I can't. My voice is too high a register. Maybe I should smoke so I can have an Eric Breen voice. Let's see. Quirk says, "Hey Ash, I have an auction tomorrow at 6:30 PST. I would have made this a super chat." All right, cool. Well, thank you for would have making it a super chat. Comics Quirks with Jimmy says, "Empire Zero was actually really good, Ash." No, Jimmy. It actually, in no way, shape, or form, was really good. I don't know why you like bad comics. It wasn't terrible. I did a review on it. It was Wonder Bread, is what it was. It was Wonder Bread. You can eat it. It's soft. It's not offensive to the palate, but is in no way quality. I don't know what Marania's saying. Didn't do a damn thing. That one series of panels of the woman in Bruce, she was all angry at him for no reason. Yeah, you're right. I thought she was angry at him just because she was a bitchy teenager. You saw that in the beginning when the mom was like, hey, do this, do that, make sure you don't get soda, blah, blah, blah. And you could kind of see where she turns around and she's like, she's just like this kind of little bitchy teenager. And I just took that as her personality towards Bruce as being that way. It was like just this uptight, this preteen. She was 12, yeah, so I guess preteen. I don't know. Maybe she was getting her first menstrual cycle. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter because she gets killed, and she's just a catalyst. She's not really important to the story. Jimmy says, "I saw your review and didn't comment for a reason." Well, I appreciate you not saying. I don't know if you're wanting to say terrible things. You can disagree with me. I'm not the end all be all of comics. That's my opinion, and I'm pretty set on that. I don't. Like I said, like I said in the review, I actually picked up Empire and read it thinking it was going to be utter trash, and I was expecting to shred all over it, and it wasn't. It was actually better than I expected. So I gave credit as much as I could. That's not a good book, and I'm sorry, Jimmy, but I think you're so used to reading bad quality books that you're impressed by that you're impressed by stuff that's not good. Dane says Ed Middlewest is great. Well, I agree. Let's stop talking about bad books and arguing. I think everyone is at least appreciating Middlewest as being a quality book. So we're going to get on to that. This is book number 2. If you missed the first one, well, I'm sorry. You shouldn't have. Basically, story so far, boy has a troubled life, and he's running away from home with a magical fox that talks to him. Before we start, I just wanted to say real quick, one of the weird things about doing this when I improv, I don't plan the voices. I don't rehearse anything. So sometimes I make voices up on the fly. And then the next time I do an issue, it's like several days go by. and I don't remember which voices I did for what. So if you hear voices like going, that's not the voice you used last time, you know why. It's just, I don't know why I said that, but that's something came to my mind. So here we are in the Middlewest. Break, break. Break. And little mouse snatched by an owl, and the train comes by. Well, well. What do we have here, Caw? Looks like we found ourselves a little mouse. All quiet and yummy looking. It's not often my dinner just crawls up on my plate, but here you are. We even have us a feisty little appetizer. Grrr. Caw, I don't really like eating fox. Makes my stomach not right. I forget you still have quite the immature palate. That just means there's more for me. I suggest you two find yourselves another meal. And what's a little critter like you gonna do about it? Gah! Abel, it's time to go. Shut up and run. Let's try to lose them up top. Are you crazy? We'll die up there. Well, lucky for you, it seems dying is on the agenda for tonight, either way. Why can't you be more comforting and be less you once in a while? It's just my nature, kid. Maybe you can find yourself a cricket or something to replace me with. That's a good line. I'll keep that in mind if we survive running on top of a train. Hey there, little mouse. Where do you think you're going? We gotta turn around. You two got me working up the kind of appetite that might get me forgetting my unliking of foxes. It was nice knowing you, kid. I've warned you about hunting on this railway before. Tonk. Nice. And I've told you that Caw don't abide by no man's rule. I will treat these trains like the all-you-can-eat buffets they are, and you can't do a damn thing about it, old man. Very well. Perhaps the boy's companion enjoys the taste of fowl. Yeah, sounds good to me. Grrr. He'd better hope those rickety wings of his aren't just decorative. And how about you, boy? Are you okay? No, I don't think so. It's okay, you will be. The next morning, on the outskirts of Strawn County,
Come on. My place is about a day's walk from here. I can tend to your wounds there. Sorry, I just realized that all the commotion last night I failed to introduce myself. My name is Jeb.
I'm Abel. And I'm not big on the whole name thing.
There's some wisdom there, Fox. It's said that a lot of power is held in a name. Sharing it can also mean sharing that power.
That, or maybe my mom was just lazy when she had us.
Perhaps. Abel, you seem to be surprised by your surroundings. Are you not from Middlewest?
I am, but I've never been outside of the Farmington. It's a small town in the center of the land. Lots of farms if you couldn't tell from the name.
I'm familiar with it. You're quite a long way from there. Are you running towards something? Or away? That's okay, Abel. Your reason is your own. I can respect that. You must be excited to see what's beyond the borders of your town.
I always thought I would be, but it just looks like more fields.
Yeah, it can look that way, but trust me.
Buku! Buku!
There's always more out there than we can see.
Buku! 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 I don't want to sound ungrateful, Jeb, but are we getting close to wherever it is we're going? Oh, that was the fox. Fox voice. Oops.
Yeah, we're very close. In fact, we have arrived. Welcome to my home.
That's a pretty cool home. Where did you get all this stuff?
Out there from among the fields that you're so unimpressed with.
Why do you want it? I mean, what do you do with it all?
Sometimes nothing. Sometimes everything. Just depends on the time.
Haha. I like this guy. He's messing with you more than I do. Very funny.
I travel and I collect. And if I can provide for those in need, then I will. Every now and then a traveler comes along, and they may need a little piece of this or piece of that. Travelers not unlike yourselves. Please, sit. I need to examine the troubled area if you don't mind. Oh, this is a strange wound. Can you tell me how you got it?
I fell.
That must have been an interesting tumble. Now, this shouldn't hurt, but the odor will be unpleasant.
Unpleasant my tail. Try having my sense of smell.
A young kid like you out roaming the Middlewest? You must have a mom and dad worrying about you back in Farmington.
My mom is somewhere. No one really knows where she is, but it's not Farmington.
Oh, your dad then? What does he think you about being here all on your own?
Hey, what am I? A stuffed animal over here?
Ha ha! You're right. Sorry, my friend. Abel is lucky to have a partner like you on the road with him.
Heh. Yeah, it's okay. Most of the time.
So, your dad, I'm guessing he didn't send you on this journey.
I'm not sure how to answer that.
Well, I know he has to be concerned about you. Stop it!
You don't know anything. Will you just fix my chest and quit talking about my dad? Gah!
My word. It's...
It's what? Tell me.
I'm sorry, Abel, but I don't think I can heal you.
Why? Because your gunk didn't work? Maybe you messed something up? You can make a different batch, right?
Your mark didn't react negatively to my salve. I believe it was your anger.
You're crazy, old man. You've been acting like some kind of wizard since I met you. So let's see some magic now.
Abel, you have to calm down. Your chest, it's getting worse.
Oh, that's the dog. I'm doing it, or the dog, the fox. I'm doing the voices wrong again. The word balloon's a little, the lettering could be a little better. But what am I going to do?
Your friend is right. You must still yourself. This isn't on the surface. It's inside you, and it's too deep for my remedies. Sadly, this is one of the times I cannot provide the thing the traveler needs.
Then what's going to happen to me?
I'm not certain.
And you suggest we do what exactly?
Right now, sleep. It's been a long day and the boy's exhausted. I'm sure you are too.
Looks like Jeb was telling the truth about what was causing it to act up. Now that you're calm, it seems to be back to normal. Yeah, but you were right too. It did get worse. It's growing, spreading out more than it was before. Hopefully old Jeb will have more answers for us in the morning. We're not waiting. You need some sleep, Abel. No way. If this thing is spreading, then I need to figure out how to get rid of it now. Oh, so what? You're a wizard too now? No, but Jeb knows more than he's telling me. Of course he does. He's 1,000,000 years old. He probably knows more than he even knows he knows. Why can't it wait until morning? I don't know. Maybe because it's hard to think about sleeping after my dad turned into a tornado monster and tried to kill me. We were almost eaten by a cannibal birdman on a train, and now I'm in some hobo wizard's junkyard compound where I learned that my chest is infected and glows when I get mad. So, you want to go snoop around and see what else we can find out about this whole chest mark business? Yes. Works for me.
Do you think she'd be willing to help the boy?
Maybe. But only if she thinks it was you that sent him.
It's been 22 years since Gibson City. Surely she has let that go. Okay, maybe she hasn't. But based on what I've read tonight, the entire Middlewest will be in grave danger if Abel is not tended to. Her abilities may be the only thing that can save us all from what the boy could become. The marvelous mystic mind of Magdalena.
Do you know where she would be this time of year?
Yes, but we can discuss that in the morning. Abel is fine for tonight, and these old bones need to be laid to a bit of rest.
I got it. Great. Can you get off me now? You ever heard of this Magdalena person? No, but I've heard of them. They've been traveling Middlewest for years. This poster is very old, but if they still follow the same route, that would put them somewhere around Sparland this time of year. Only one way to find out. You down for a quest? That's a dumb question. I'm absolutely not down for a quest, or a journey, or a saga, or whatever you want to call it. Why are you still walking with me then? I'm not. You're walking with me. Yeah, sure. Seriously, just wait. First fork in the road we come to, you and me are Splitsville. Okay. What's that supposed to mean? You know what it means. Whatever. Can I have some of that food now? Nope. The food we borrowed is for questing. You're not down with the quest. Remember that from like 20 seconds ago? Whoa. Better check out that chest wound and make sure being a smartass doesn't make it worse too. Shut up! What? Too soon? And that is the end of book 2. We have some sketches. All right. Let's see the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. It wasn't as good as the first issue, but, you know, sometimes you have to take a step down in the pacing and the tone to let the story kind of unfold. Let's see. Let's see. Ronnie is talking about Hulk, says, I may be sensitized to it, but men seem to get bashed a lot in Marvel Comics for no good reason, save that they're male and usually white. As for the comment about the girl cycle, not all women get bitchy then. I admit I would sometimes, but not nearly like that. Well, just to go back to that for a second, you know, she's 12 years old. Like, I've seen 12 years old mean girls. Like, she's a mean girl. Like, that's how I see it. Maybe that's because I'm a guy, but it didn't throw me off. And I understand what you're saying. Like, Marvel's kind of set the tone for you, so you're filling in like what your expectations are, and I guess that's normal. I was just trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. And like I said, it didn't ring false for me. Jimmy says, everyone like the stream. Well, yes, I appreciate that. If you have any enjoyment whatsoever and you want to throw me a like, I would appreciate that. It costs you nothing. Empire doesn't care for what some 40-year-old white dude thinks of it. It wasn't made for you. Thank you very much. Dane says the art and color of this book is so gorgeous. Every issue gets better. Yes to the former, for sure. It's a gorgeous book, and it has a very whimsical charm to it. One of the things that this book is making me feel is it feels, if you know who Hayao Miyazaki is, Japanese anime master, done some of the best anime films in Japan. It has a feel of that. Obviously the art style is very different than Hayao Miyazaki's art, but if you've seen films like Howl's Moving Castle, if you haven't seen it, I recommend, or Spirited Away. This book has a similar kind of tone and fairy tale kind of mystical nature to it. Very different visual style of the art for sure, but it's bringing me back to the things I like about Miyazaki's stories is what I'm kind of enjoying here. Let's see. The kid's dad is not his real dad, but a magical creature impersonating him. Melissa, did you just spoil the book? Melissa, please don't spoil anyone. Like, that's like the lamest thing to do. Let's see. Why does the guy sound like Wolverine? Maybe the guy is Wolverine. I thought it started out great, but it gets better as Jorge gets more comfortable. This book wasn't Kansas from the start with a talking fox. Huh. Ash's gruff voice, all guys sound the same. I like the consistency. I have a very limited palette. Like, I have a very limited selection of voices that I can pull from. So my voice can only go so many ways. It would be cool to learn other voices and do things, but I can only strain it in certain ways. It's very limited range. You've got a very bad case of electric chest. Dane says, I like the way the people just accept the talking fox. Yeah, me too. Ryuk is in the house. Good to see you, Ryuk. Jimmy says, too bad it's ending at 18 because I would just love to live in it. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, I haven't got very far in the story. On the other hand, I think a book like this is the type of book I would want to end because it doesn't feel like an open-ended, the way like modern superhero comics are, you know, like Spider-Man or Batman, where like those just feel like books that are just open-ended for adventures and stuff. This feels like it's moving towards an end. Like, so 18 issues is a pretty good amount of issues for a standalone story. Hopefully, as Dane says, he always stops where I want him to. Hopefully 18 is the stopping point where the creators want to stop. It's not like it's being forced to stop and they have to end it prematurely. Hopefully this is the number of issues they want to really get their story, because that's always what sucks when a comic doesn't sell well and they're like, oh, I guess we got to rush it to the end, and you don't get the full thing. Hopefully it can go out on its terms. Jimmy says, no, she did not spoil the book. Okay, good. That's good to hear. Let's see. Ed Brewer says, I liked Hulk better. Oh, well, not everything is for everybody. Well, were you here? I don't think you were here for the previous issue, Ed. So I don't know. I wouldn't want to jump, if that's true, I wouldn't want to jump in on this story on this issue. It would be not very sensical, and you wouldn't have the investment in the kid, the character and stuff. I can't remember if you were here on the previous episode. But I think it would definitely play better if you read issue number 1. And of course, I think that Immortal Hulk was a really good issue. So if liking it better, there's no harm in that. I mean, it was a good issue. I mean, if it was like, you know, Valkyrie number 1, you're like, I like that better, I would say, okay, I cry foul. So shenanigans. You know, but the Hulk was a good issue. And it might be more your cup of tea. I can see not everyone being into these type of books. This is something that not only do I find well written and compelling, because the first issue really set the character up for me and the premise, so now I'm kind of buying into it. But you know, the horror comics aren't for me. So as much as I thought the Hulk was good, it's just like, yeah, it's good. I appreciate it. Let's see. Dane says, yeah, you gotta start from the beginning. Lord says, I read all issues of Middlewest. All right, so it looks like we got some fans. This is kind of a cool thing. I really like doing these when I get to discover a new book. That's a cool cover. I really like finding something new. And this was a book that I bought like at least 6 months ago. I bought these books. It's been a while, and Jimmy was really high on these books, and he was doing reviews of Middle. He was like, "Oh, Middlewest is so great," you know. And I was like, you know, it does. I like Scotty Young, and you know, it looks interesting, and the Comixology had a sale, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna get the first 6 issues, which I believe is the first arc, and give this a try and see what it's all about, because I really like the art. I could tell that from the beginning. I was like, it looks gorgeous. And this is something that I'm a big believer in comics in general, that I think is getting lost on the modern crowd, is that comics are a visual medium. Comics should be art first. And I know some people are going to balk at that. And I know the modern times is all about the writer. And look, good writing is important. I 100% understand. But if a comic has good writing and terrible art, I'll suffer through it and read it. But using Empire Zero, for example, it's a book I didn't enjoy. But I was able to, well, I should say I didn't enjoy the writing, but I really liked looking at it. Like Pepe, was God, I'm forgetting his name. Pepe Larraz. It's someone I didn't know about until the House of X storyline, and that art is just beautiful. He just got better and better each issue. That guy has all the makings of being a star, and his pairing with Marto Gracia, those two guys, like, they just work beautifully together. And I could read any comic that these guys did. It's this book, the art makes this. If this book didn't have good art, it would still be okay. It's okay read, but the eye candy, and it makes me want to go back and see comics. Comics are things that I want to be able to read again and again and again. If a comic's only readable once and you never want to go back to it, $3.99 an issue is too high of a price point, in my opinion, right? Or $20 for a trade to read the story. That's expensive. Like, it's got to be better. And beautiful art is something that, even though you know the story, you just like, you know, to go back and thumb through the book and just kind of gaze at it. And it depends. I guess it depends on if you really like art. Those are just me rambling about stuff. Melissa says, I don't know. I just guessed I never read this book ever. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know who reads the book or not. And the way you presented it, Melissa, was like you presented it like this is fact, not like I predict this is going to happen. It was like, here's the way it is. And I was like, frick, you know, and I don't know if you read the book or not. Ronnie says, you're batting 1,000, introducing me to books I normally wouldn't give a try, Ash. Well, there you go. I'm usually pretty good at guessing what I'm going to like and what I'm not going to like. Like I said, I got these books. I wouldn't have bought these books if I didn't think I was going to like them. I'm just happy that I turned out to be right so far. Let's see. Melissa says, bye, guys. Looks like she's leaving. Good night, Melissa. Middlewest, saw it many times until I tried it. Good story, good art. Ed says, don't want pictures, get a novel. Yes, agree. Get a novel. Novels can be great, and it's a way different way of telling a story. But comics, to me, are kind of an excuse to gaze at good art. And when you can marry good art with good writing, man, it's just sublime. And that's where comics go from just being good to great. And that's unfortunately, like, sometimes I'll read some really good comic stories and I can't go, this is a great comic, because the art is just like, okay. And that sucks, you know. I think every great comic book writing, every great story needs to have a great art. Otherwise, it's like, man, what a waste. Dane says that he has new respect for me, and I might have to read the Thor book I keep raving about. Oh, I already read that out. Oh, you were playing video games. Apparently, because you don't have respect for me, but yeah. So now I've read that twice. When Dane said it, and now when Jimmy said that Dane said it. Ronnie says, I'd rather have more pictures and less words in my comic books. Let the pictures tell the story. Yes, for the most part. One of the things that I really liked about going back to the Hulk earlier that we read is that the visual storytelling was on point. It was, you know, you didn't need a lot of words. You knew what was going on in that story. And man, when the Hulk shows up, that was a great scene. That was just monstrous. Dane says, Jimmy, I even told Ash that he should read it. Yeah, and Dane hasn't even read it yet, as far as I know. Ed says, Jeff Johns does a good job of picking artists to work with. I agree. Of course, Jeff Johns kind of gets the pick of the litter, right? He's Jeff Johns, which is good. I mean, because Jeff Johns is a good writer. I would hate to just have them be like, oh, here's John Chicken Shit. They're going to do the art for you. It was really unfortunate on Hawkman when Brian Hitch left after issue 12. That book was so good. And I'm not even a Brian Hitch fan. Like, he's a competent artist. Like, he's solid. Like, he does fine work, but he's not like a great artist. It's not like I'm like, oh. But when he left, that art went downhill quick. And then they put, I can't remember the name of the guy they put on it. And it was just like, I was getting to a point where I was like, man, the writing is solid, but it's so ugly to look at. And now finally the art is good again. It's not great, but it's good. And it's making the book so much better. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm loving this book so much. And the review of 24, or I got a video, Ash on Hawkman 24 comes out in the morning. Spoiler, I really liked it. I love that book. Let's see. Jimmy says, thanks, Dane. He might read it next. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe not. I don't know. Well, Jimmy, I can only do so many books recommended by you. Otherwise, I'm playing favorites. But I am open to suggestions. Everyone, if you guys have great books for me to read, if you're like, oh, this would be a good one to do. I have some things kind of percolating in my mind on, you know, what I want to read. One of the books I was thinking of reading, because I haven't read it in, at least 25 years. And Jimmy got me thinking about it, although not intentionally, is Infinity Gauntlet. Infinity Gauntlet's one of my favorite comic stories I ever read. And it's just something I want to revisit. And going back and revisiting those X-Men books and stuff and remembering why I love them so much makes me kind of go, oh, yeah. And I kind of like doing these streams like this and doing the readings, because not only do I get to read the books again and get to share them with you and, you know, let you guys read with me and everything, but you guys get to experience how I read the books, you know, how I hear the voices in my head, how I experience it, which might not be the same. Like, everyone, you know, it's just written words. And so we kind of put the inflections that we think are there. We kind of put the tone of voice that we think, and so sometimes it's interesting to see how other people view things. At least for me, that's how I am. Jimmy says, at least they didn't put Kudransky on Hawkman. Yeah, Kudransky would have been bad, but I think the art might have even been worse. The one guy that was on there, I was like, ugh. During the whole Shadow Thief storyline, I was like, this is pretty bad. But Kudransky's pretty terrible too. Ronnie says, there's some fantastic artists at DC. Sadly, some get paired with the worst writers. Clayman King is a notable example. I won't even mention the other obvious example. I don't want Jimmy mad. I was just thinking the same thing. Oh, man. That's true. Like, Clayman, it's just like, why are you wasting him on Tom King books? God, please. Oh, man. They had Jorge Jimenez doing Batman for like a couple issues. And, even, you know, he's one of my favorite artists. And he wasn't even really like suited for Batman. But I was like, and then he took him off, and now you got this. Who's this guy? Guillaume March that Eric Breen thinks is good. I've been arguing with him in my comment section. It's like, he's a fine artist. He's okay. He's decent. He'd be fine. I think I said this in my review too. Like, he'd be fine on Hawkman. Like, I understand him being in a book that doesn't sell, but being on Batman, and you've got some great artists running around. Ivan Reis. You got Doug Monke. You've got Tony S. Daniel. Like I said, Jorge Jimenez is one of my favorites. Geez, I would even take Brian Hitch over Guillaume March. And he's not a top tier guy. What are some of the other big guys? Let's see. Well, there was what's his name that left to Marvel because he was so pissed off with Bendis, from what I understand, or at least not with Bendis directly, but like what Bendis was doing, and just was, yeah. Ronnie says, Quirks, I will try rereading Legion of Superheroes and Young Justice again from the beginning. I will try to give them a fair shake again. Okay. Good luck with that, Maranya. I don't think you're going to see anything new. Dane says Guillaume is good, energetic. First and foremost, I want to say I don't think Guillaume is bad. My argument with Eric was that he wasn't top tier. He's not a Gary Frank, for example, as Maranya is putting in there, right? And Dane, no, I don't think Brian Hitch is top tier. That was my point. I said I would even take Brian Hitch. Oh, you're saying he's not top tier. He's not. He's very solid. When I say top tier, I mean like guys that sell books because they're the artist, right? Guys like Greg Capullo. Like, you put Greg Capullo on a book, it's moving because of the art, right? Top tier is like that. And even if they're not your favorite artist, I mean, there's people that don't like Greg Capullo, but, you know, Jorge Jimenez is going to sell books. A lot of these top tier, when you're top tier, you don't even have to do interiors anymore because you just do covers. Alex Ross, that's top tier, right? Imagine if Alex Ross did interiors today. J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee. These are like the top tier. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the big names. Brian Hitch is solid, right? Like, he's playing in the majors. He's earned his place. And I would be happy to have him on most books. But he's not top tier. And Guillaume March, I believe, is below Brian Hitch. And especially this Batman book, it's sloppy as hell. Like, the last one I just read in issue 93, Batman pulls out a katana, and he doesn't even draw the blade of the katana. This is stupid. And then he draws some, like, Batman standing in this weird pose, and I'm like, body can't physically move this way. It's not good. You're right, though. He has energy. And this is how I've defended Rob Liefeld in the past, of why Rob Liefeld has his fans. And I don't berate anyone for being a fan of Guillaume March by any means. If you like his work, that's great. And I've defended Rob Liefeld, even though I don't like personally Rob Liefeld's art. I've defended him because, number one, he sells, or he once did, sold millions of copies of books. Like, there was no arguing his fan base. And sometimes energy is what matters. If you get people excited about what they're seeing and reading, the visual aesthetics don't matter. It doesn't matter if you can't draw anatomy. What matters is, can you make people excited about the visual? And you know, this Middlewest is a very good example of that. Like, now it's more of a cartoon style, but like the characters that are being drawn in this book are not anatomically correct. It's not like, but no one's sitting here going, oh, he didn't draw those muscles in the right place. No one's judging this. Like, it conveys the story in a certain way, and we let all of the improper realisms, you know, go out the wayside because they're not important. I don't know if I'm not eloquent enough to really say that. Let's see. Computer Robot says, and you have Ash, who is also a good writer. I'm a good writer? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying there, Computer Robots, but I like what you're saying. I'm trying to give them a fair outing because what Quirk said the other day hurt, and I want to make sure that I'm not putting in my own Bendis bias in the reading. Oh. Quirk, you said something that hurt. You should apologize. Sure. I'm not going to ever dissuade anyone from being open-minded. I didn't like what I read from Legion or Young Justice. But let's see. Sorry if it hurt. I stand by what I said. Give me the facts on what it sucks and why you dislike it, then fine. But you can't just say it sucks because Bendis is on it. Eventually, you write enough stuff that sucks. Eventually, you just get to some point where you're just like, that movie sucks because Uwe Boll made it. Like, I guess I have to see every, you know, Uwe Boll movie to quantify and say, yeah, here's why it sucks. But I'm not gonna go see every Uwe Boll movie because I know they all suck, because I've seen enough Uwe Boll movies to know that he doesn't know how to make a movie. I'm just gonna leave my opinion at that. Let's see. So that's all discussion about Bendis. I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to let people like what they like. Ronnie says, I know some people don't like Ryan Ottley on Spider-Man, but to me it somehow fits for the most part. You know, my thoughts on Ryan Ottley is, for today's industry, Ryan Ottley is fine because Marvel has very few good artists. So Ryan Ottley fits. But Ryan Ottley would have never even made the Marvel lineup in the late 80s and early 90s. Like, his art's not even good enough to be the bottom of the barrel of back then. And that's it. And Ed Brewer says if it sells, they don't care if it sucks. And that is true. That is, I think, where we'll leave that off. That's 100% true. Money talks, and that's all that matters. But it is interesting, though, when something doesn't sell and it sucks, but they still don't care. Thank you guys for listening tonight. Thank you for hearing me babble. Thank you for participating. This is not just about me. This is about a hangout for comic fans to shoot the shit about comics. Hopefully you enjoyed both comics tonight that we read. I certainly did. Like I said, I don't really get much suggestions, but if you want to throw suggestions, I'm more than willing to listen. Just keep in mind, it has to be something that I own, or it has to be something that's available on Comixology Unlimited. And if you want me to read something that are neither, then it's going to be don't need to be donated. So I don't ask for anyone to buy anything for me, but like I said, I can't just pop it out of thin air. I will be more than happy to do that. And also, if it's the opening comic, I don't want to, I'm kind of trying to go against doing like a series for the opening comic. I'm trying to do kind of like one and done. I'm glad the Immortal Hulk worked out the way that it did today, because I feel like we did that issue and it's like, boom, here's an Immortal Hulk story, and then we can move on. I don't need to keep reading Immortal Hulk. Hopefully, if you like it and you go, oh, that was pretty cool, you can go on. That was on Comixology Unlimited. You can go get the whole trade for free, essentially, with the service, and you can go read it and enjoy more. I want to kind of do things like that, and then, but I will need something to replace Middlewest here, and like next week, we'll be wrapping through it. So, anyways, that's why it is. I got stuff I have to do. I got some work I got to do, so I can't go on Discord tonight. But you guys are always more than welcome to go there, and that's it. So thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Like, subscribe, leave comments down below. I got a video out. You can watch them. Hit me up on Twitter, Parler, all the good places.